All right, cool. All right, well, welcome everybody. It is week 51 of 2023, and got the notes. It's a 13 MB file. How many pages is this? 34. Okay. Cool. So again, thank you to Tasty Trade for sponsoring our show. What was that, like $80 from the summer? So yeah,
Really?
it's like 100 or 80, something like that. Yeah. So that's cool. I didn't catch last Saturday's meeting, but I believe it's in the content library by now. So let's
Yeah,
double check really quick.
yeah, it
Cool.
is.
Okay, yeah. So hope you guys can catch that. And then we got Mr. Hancock coming in January. Is the write-up up? Let me double check.
Oh, I thought Jay's doing it in January.
Yeah, Jay, yeah. Sorry,
Is
I
it
think
Jay?
so. Yeah, it's Jay. Let me double check. Check the calendar.
Do you know what he's going to be talking about?
I am not sure.
When is it? The
To
20,
20th.
20th? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I can send the link to other people in my group from J group
Mhm.
to attend and pay
Yeah,
the yeah, okay.
yeah, please. Yeah. We don't
Get
have the
more
link
people.
up. Yeah, but this is the
Mhm.
date. Yeah.
The 20th. Okay.
Mhm. All right. And then we have the idiot of the week. All right. So no one jumped out of of a building. There's a new war zone. Red Sea is firing up literally. We'll talk about that in just a bit. And then to Ross's point, we'll definitely talk about the Santa Claus rally. But yeah, let's look at the loser of the week. All right. I thought of my friend Min in San Francisco when I saw this, but yes. If you've been a victim of the PayPal mafia in 2023, this is your group therapy session. So, all right. So to this moron, he came forward. Will financial victims of Jim Cramer come forward? PayPal buyer on his recommendation here. So this dumbass went YOLO on PayPal just because he watched some Jim Cramer, and yes, promptly lost a third of his portfolio. And then apparently here is the verbiage from the newsletter. So yes, CNBC Investing Club. Um, after we receive this email, will be buying blah 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 with the fund. Blah blah blah. PayPal expects to have a very strong blah blah blah. Oh, is this 2021? Okay, but anyway, moronic suggestions here pursued by the sheep, and oh, this is old. Sorry, why is this posted so late? Okay, I thought this was a current one. Okay, this is 2021. My apologies. But I guess the same rules apply here. So what did this guy not do? No trading plan, no entry criteria, no exit criteria, no position sizing. Um, where's the money management rules whatsoever? Um, where's the alerts, notifications, anything? Nope. So yeah, this is a total failure. So yeah, I'll have to check the date on this next time. But yes, that is the idiot of the week. And then I tried to share our Zoom to a couple other places, and I got rejected, which was kind of surprising to me. But yeah, I mean that's just I guess a promotional thing. And I looked up Meetup. I didn't realize they were charging to form Meetup groups now. It is not cheap. The most basic plan I think started at was a $13 to $16 a month. So yeah, Meetup is not worth $100 a year at that rate, or whatever the math is, a little bit more than 100. But yeah, that is retarded. So yeah. Blah blah blah. Okay, index and market overview. Let's go to that. Uh, what did Ross post here? Kramer ETFs. Oh yes, there's the inverse Jim Cramer. Yeah, this is it. This is it. Yeah,
Oh,
perfect.
yeah, the
The
inverse Jim.
inverse Jim Cramer. Yes. Performance. It hasn't been great lately. Yes. But I think it will come back. I need this is awesome. I'll have to bookmark this afterwards. The S Jim, that's right. S Jim stock.
Stands
Oh,
for short Jim, not slim Jim.
yeah. Beautiful. All right. Oh, forgot to look at roll call. Who do we have here? Let's see. We got Larry, Wani, Ross, Linda, Michael, Dave, Kurt, Fla, and John. Awesome. Welcome, guys. Let me upload the notes again in case you didn't grab it. And this is being recorded, so you don't have to take too many notes. All right, cool. Oh, market overview. Okay, let's jump back to our indexes and see how this week has been shaken up. And if you guys recall last week's theme from the Stock Traders Almanac, at least, there's a lot of attention on small caps doing really well. So we'll take a special look at the Russell 2000 and see how the Santa Claus rally is shaping up. So looking at the 1-year chart, it's been quite the season. And let's zoom in a little bit on the last 10 trading sessions here. So yes, nice steady climb. Would I call this a reversal? Maybe a netter candle tomorrow would help to see. But at least on the in the near term, on the bottom left here, we're seeing a huge influx of net buyers into the market. So we like to see that with on-balance volume. And is pace being maintained? That seems to be the case. Now let's go to the analytics and see how everyone is wagering their money. So yeah, very common day today. Put call ratio is right at 1.4, which is fair value. That still sounds crazy to say that 3 years after COVID, but yes, that is the fair value number. And the deltas look fairly normal as well. Heavy hedging on the low probability side, but that's good. I guess that's what smart money does. And let's transition down to the big boy option contracts in the S&P 500 family and look at SPX. And yes, this is pacing the future side perfectly, at least on just the overall wager number with the put call ratio. Deltas look very similar. And the overall volume looks right on target. And therefore, the sizzle index is still broken yet again, because this is they're counting multiples of the 5-day average. And if it was 10 times more, this number should be in the millions. So yeah, this is still broken. All right. Let's look into the retail side and check out SPY and see if they feel the same way. Generally speaking, they're very optimistic. So yes, for retail, hope springs eternal. So today is no exception. And as you can see, the deltas are very spread out. And yeah, who wants a hedge in a green market with 3 rate decreases incoming? And let's go to our cousin indexes and check out the NASDAQ. And with so much tech-heavy NASDAQ things, this should be doing fairly well. And yeah, this is also, fairly, well, this is a normal day-ish overall. But let's take a close look on the charts. How is it doing compared to the S&P? It is tracking very closely. So yeah, we'll have to keep our eye on that. And let's take a glance at small cap, which is extra sensitive to rate changes from the Fed. And as a result, it's been gapping up higher and higher. And I affectionately call the Russell 2000 the schizophrenic index, because it loves to overreact. And today is also no exception. And this is very bullish, which is uncharacteristic of it. Fair value is 2.3, hence the schizo designation. And today it's under 1. So very bullish on the Russell 2000. And this will line up with our Stock Traders Almanac reading very nicely. So is momentum being maintained? Yes, and it is increasing. And yeah, forming I guess a triple top here, at least on the influx of net buying. So yeah, I guess this gap up will be maintained until direction changes. Great, and let's look at the diamonds and the Dow. I know the Dow was setting all-time highs, but as we looked at last week, if you measure the Dow in gold, that is not the case. And I believe the S&P 100 is also setting all-time highs, and we'll take a look at that as well. So yes, so this is about, let's see, the Dow's worth about 18 ounces of gold, and it peaked at 40, about 41, and on the other end, 1980, about 1.29. So yeah, this is just a different way to look at valuations, outside of the dollar, since the dollar is printed into oblivion. Okay, let's go back to the charts. Do we look at analytics? Okay, so volume here is very subdued, so I don't read into this too deeply. Traditionally, this is overly optimistic. That's not the case today, but again, this is such low volume that we don't have to worry about it too much. But we will note that there was some divergence against all the indexes. All right, let's see. What did Ross post? While we load that, let's check out VIX. VIX has moved a monstrous 2 points from last week, from 12 something to 14.1. Amazing. And let's see, what is this? Rare bullish signal just triggered. The SVOG breath thrust. Say that 3 times fast. Signal since World War II. Okay. Well, I'm unfamiliar with this. This looks cool.
So what essentially they're trying to say, and I saw this on a few tweets on X, is that whenever the signal traders see the performance, 1 month, 3 months, 6 and 12, the chart, there's another link to a chart right after this that gives you the all of the movements after the trigger. So all these green dots are the triggers, and whenever it's been triggered, you see a significant movement up. So we got 2 triggers this year. Very close. This has not happened. Well, I think it happened in 1962.
Right here. Yeah.
And then look at the upward movement.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the left side of the chart, so it was at about 40, it went to 80-ish, I think. Oh, no, maybe 60 to 80. So you have these 2 dots, two triggers that appeared this year. And look at the chart from 2010 onwards. It's going up all the way.
No, this is incredible. Let's go back to the previous one.
So there's
so
I think the free indicator on Thinkorswim on just look up swing, or however they call it, and put it on your charts and put SPX. I mean on SPX, and you'll see the
SVOG brush. It's not a study, I guess, or
anyway, you can look at it in your own time. But
yeah,
or
I'll check it out
use
later.
the link to the cost.mx.
But this is super cool. Yeah. 60s. So yes, the melt up will continue. Interesting. Very cool. Thanks, Ross. So
Well, the question then is, how do you play this?
okay. Back to the charts. So yeah, how does one play this? 63. What was the trigger in 63?
So on the Wix itself, right, a comment, though Wix jumped quite a bit, SPY has not moved in relative, percentage, or the kind of move you should have seen with a proportional move in Wix, or maybe the zero DTEs are kind of skewing the movement. Who knows?
And I think from a I guess the international perspective, geopolitical risk is increasing nonstop. Like we have a new war zone to be concerned about, like the Red Sea. So we have to track let me see. Let's go back to my notes. How many war zones now? Okay. Ukraine, Gaza, the Taiwan Strait, North Korea, Yemen, what did I forget? West Africa,
Yeah, and this is directly
Iran.
correlated to a comment some warmongers recently made. They said that the U.S. has been spending less on defense and on war as a percentage of GDP.
Yeah, debt service is now the most expensive item. We have to pay for the old bullets as well as the new ones. Uh, but yeah, I was checking futures every night and just like I'm blown away that especially with the developments in the Red Sea region, futures were anemic. No one cared. Um,
And on that note, on Red Sea, um, none of the allies provided anything material in support to the US. I think France and the UK provided a frigate with no personnel. They said, manage yourselves.
yeah, but and we'll take a look at the overall deployment in the I believe half of all the naval ships now are en route or already in the Mediterranean war zone. So quite tricky. One second. Dogs are going crazy. Let me think there's someone outside. I'll be right back. One second. I have a meeting. Okay, sorry about that. Where was I?
Hey, hey,
Oh, Red
I
Sea.
have a question.
Yeah.
With the situation in the Red Sea, would that make the oil prices go up?
Yes. I'm glad you asked. Uh,
Right?
absolutely. It's not good for business. And the Red Sea also has a lot of goods going through it. And the number one the person that's hurt the most is actually Europe. And this is no end to Germany's woes. First they lost the Nord Stream pipeline, and now this. So talk about squeezing Germany into a winter energy holocaust. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So natural gas should go up.
Oh, the Widowmaker, of course, of course.
I'm still praying. I'm still praying for my
Natural
UNG.
gas has gone up.
Has gone up,
It's
yes.
gone up a little bit. Yeah.
Per Dave's instruction, the $2 floor price is very real. We should be trading it more rigorously.
It's at 256. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Uh, but most of
Wanda,
us
you need to be looking at long-term weather forecasts.
like El Nino.
Forget this trading stuff.
I know, right?
Become an expert in weather forecasts if you want to trade nat gas.
Expert.
True. The same thing for wheat and everything else, though, too.
But especially
Yeah.
nat gas.
Yeah.
I know.
Not called the Widowmaker for nothing.
I know. I learned. Learn my
Okay.
lessons. Learn my lessons.
And then speaking of everyone else learning, here's the sentiment index of the AAII members. So this is again is the what's the acronym? The American God. Oh,
American
sorry.
Association of Individual Investors, I think it is.
According to God himself from Oregon. There you go. So yes. And yes, so for the group, it looks like it's 52.9% bullish, and the bears are capitulating. So their numbers have shrunk a third from historical highs. So yes, until the first circuit breaker hits, don't really worry about the falling knife.
But
All right.
VIX went up today. VIX
To
at 14.
to 14 from 12.
Yeah, it's 14.
We have a new war zone, but it only went up 2 points. Okay.
I know.
Go long, missile defense. What can I say? Cool. Let's look at fear and greed, and there's some parallels to the Zeig breath thrust here. And let's just note the number here. This is 72. It was living in a 25 to 40 zone for late summer for quite a bit. And looking at the formula for Zeig breath thrust, what looks like here, it's the 10-day exponential moving average of advances. So they define, and then that's divided by the denominator is advances plus decliners. Okay, so your advances, so you're kind of seeing, I guess that's a version of market breadth in a way. So from that context, whoops, where's this? So that's kind of an extension of this. It's a different formula, but similar idea. So yeah, we'll have to incorporate. We can watch the Zeig breath thrust more and see if that gives us other good bullish signals. But yeah, on the 5-day, sorry, on the put call side, this is definitely on very bullish territory. And if you recall, even COVID was 2.3 on the put call ratio, I believe. Oops, this is the table view. We need the chart view. So we're at 0.8, right? So it was worse in 2019, and COVID was only 2.59. Sorry, COVID was only 2.4. So yeah, we have a bit more to go until bears can eat a good lunch. Okay. So yes, by the way, this is a Microsoft Word art, if you recognize it. I had a lot of fun with this. Okay, let's check out the Stock Traders Almanac. All right, our December readouts. So yes, historically, December is really good. Number 3 for the S&P and Dow, number 4 for the NASDAQ. 2018 was the worst December since 31. And small caps start to outperform larger caps near the middle of the month. And the Santa Claus rally is visible. Oh, never mind. Skip that. Blah, blah, blah. Fourth quarter expiration week was the most bullish triple witching week typically. And it really helps when the FOMC lines up and then also tells you it's going to pitch softballs 3 more times. So that helps. And yeah. So has Russell 2000 continued its nice run from last week? It's maintained its gains. I guess that's positive, but it needs to set a bigger base, and then ATR needs to drop so we can hold it. Okay. Let's go to this January. Okay. January's barometer predicts the year's course with a 0.743 batting average. 14 of the last 17 post-presidential election years have followed January's direction. And we're going into election year, so this will not apply to us. Every down January on the S&P since 1950, without exception, preceded a new or extended bear market, a flat market, or a 10% correction. So that'll be fun. And S&P gains in January's first five days preceded full year gains 82.2% of the time in 13 of the last 17 post-presidential years. And then November, December, and January constitute the year's best 3-month span. January NASDAQ, powerful 2.8% up since 71. So this speaks well for tech stocks going forward. And the January effect now starts in mid-December and favors small cap stocks. Okay. And then 2009 has the dubious honor of the worst S&P 500 January on record. And that was post global financial crash. So we're going into ours, sort of. So we're definitely not on the way up just yet. Cool. Meanwhile, let me load sector rotation. Any comments, questions? Santa Claus rally continued, looks like.
Hey, Warren, do you know who coined the term Santa rally? It's actually the people from the almanac.
Well, I thought it was literally Jim Norton because he looks like Santa Claus if you've ever met him. And at Christmas
Yeah,
season, he literally gives out like candies, like a Santa Claus, yeah.
No, it's actually the almanac people. Santa
Yeah.
rally. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think most traders know this, and then traders. Can we call them lazy? They're aggressively lazy. They want an easy holiday season. What can I say? Oh, before I forget, I forgot to include this in my notes, but U.S. Steel got sold to the Japanese.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, we'll talk about this when we get to our international section. But yeah, cool. Yeah, just one. Okay, let's go back to our sector rotation. Okay, cool. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let's get our 11 subsectors that make up our S&P 500 family. And okay, cool. So we got our 5-week tail for the year. Here on the overlay, we see the S&P in the background. And again, impossible numbers from at least what I was guessing earlier in the year. But yeah, here we are. All right, worst sectors. Let's go to the table view and sort this. This is slightly stale data, but we'll do it the best we can. Worst sector was XOE. As we see here, each link of the tail is 1 week, and we have a 5-week tail. So this has been quite the dog. But there's been some folks plowing money in here. And what's the latest in oil news? Angola has exited OPEC. They produced virtually 0.1% of global demand, but that's the latest in oil news at the moment. What's doing well? Real estate and tech for sure. And this is definitely boosted with reduced capital costs. And with 3 more rate decreases, this should continue. And then domestic banks are not far behind. And yeah, banks like to not lose and will load the dice as much as they can. Let's see what else is doing well. Yeah. Let's go to our individual tickers. Please feel free to share whatever you would like, and we'll dump this into this bad boy. Okay, got Ross. We got your BA, GE, and FTAI for our airplane parts, right? All right, cool. So here's X that just got sold. All right, so sector leader, or not sector leader, this is a all-time leader of this board at least, is Upstart. And we'll talk about this in a second, but Walmart at the self-checkout now it's offer buy now, pay later, which is going to be crazy. And what else is up here? US Steel, General Motors, Boeing, Cleveland, ARC, Ford, AMD, NEO, blah, blah, blah. Let's see who's on the bottom. The Widowmaker, Palantir. What is Palantir? 18, 17? Oh, wow.
Mhm.
So that means all my friends who got in at like 15 have gone nowhere since COVID. Okay.
And there's a gap right at that level, looking for a gap fill.
Looks like it. Yeah. And then what else? We got China's large cap on the bottom. No surprises there. Okay. Oh, let me add the other one. We got IGF, AFRM. Oh, Affirm kicking major ass here. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Where
Well,
is
the firm got
IGF?
that boost because I think there was some news with Google last week. So
And what is IGF? I am unfamiliar with expanded tech.
IGV is
IGV,
a
sorry.
ETF.
Yeah, what's in the whole?
Tech ETF.
Oh, wow. Okay. We got Microsoft, Salesforce, Adobe, Oracle, Intuit, ServiceNow. Okay, lots of big boy enterprise players. Okay. This is a little bit SaaS heavy. At least I am less familiar with the bottom three. I'm more familiar with the top five. But yeah, very SaaS heavy. Okay, cool. I imagine this is doing very well. I mean, Fang Plus is doing well overall. Yeah, constant inflows, very strong. This looks like Ross's patented ELF slope here. Perfect 1x slope. And I'd imagine the analytics are very favorable. No, analytics are very unfavorable. What is going on here? Monthly contracts, bid-ask spread is very wide. It is wide,
Yeah,
but not very. It's doable.
the options are not great on some of these ETFs. I mean,
Mm,
most of these ETFs, you've got to play them at the ticker level, not really at the options level. So this wouldn't give you the right picture with option puts,
mm.
call put, the put call ratio. Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah.
have good, unless you're going for the heavy volume ETFs like TQQ, SOXL, SMH, and
Yeah,
I
the
forget what
big
was that.
boys.
The Russell um, TNA, is it TNA or TNA? Yeah, that's the one. TNA. My goodness, TNA is on fire.
TNA?
N for Nancy. Nancy. Yeah.
Yeah. uh so but again, yeah, this is a leverage product. So long holdings would be rebalanced and your gains would be reduced over time. But yeah, this
Right.
is very
These
juicy.
products are not to be held, beyond a month or so. So you have to
Yeah.
do within 6 weeks is tops. That's a lot of time on a leverage ETF.
But people still do it, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty tight, just a couple pennies wide. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'll take a closer look after this. TNA. All right, cool. Awesome, guys. Let's go back to our notes. Always fun to learn about a new ETF. All right, we got our sector rotation. If you guys have other individual tickers that you would like me to drop on our sector rotation, let me know.
Yeah, there's a new one on SPX or on the SPY. It's 4X's.
What is this miraculous product called?
It's XXXX.
XXXX. God.
It's four
Uh,
times leverage.
okay, no options yet. Bank of Montreal. Oh, God bless the French Quebecan people. Um, uh, Random historical fact. Whatever Louis guy at the time he punished his shitty mistresses by sending them to the Canadian colony of Quebec. And then the only men there were soldiers. So that's why, like, at least from all my friends tell me, like, girls from Quebec are hella hot because they're mixed with like the natives, the French courtesans, and the leftover soldiers. But yeah, we'll see when this has an options market. That'll be fun. Cool.
Hey,
Okay.
Warren,
Yes, sir.
what happened with Figma and Adobe?
The deal is
Uh,
off. The deal is off.
really, I'm surprised. Okay.
Yeah.
I always felt like Figma was too expensive. Adobe has a competing product that does like the concept mapping in a very similar way. They didn't really need to do this. They're trying to get market share. But yeah, a lot of marketing teams, design teams are very tight with Figma and whatnot. Let's look at Adobe. Thanks for bringing this up, Larry. We haven't talked about Adobe in quite a bit. Uh, as a daily practitioner or daily user of Adobe products, I really hate the subscription model.
Oh God.
I don't own the software. It's very frustrating. Like, why do I have to keep paying for the same bullshit that I'm using day in and day out?
Well, the
Yeah.
other problem is they change it on you all the time, right? You you don't have a stable version to work with.
Yeah, and that's assuming I'm not, changing computers between like PC and Macs. And then that changes like my daily workflow and whatever. But yeah. Adobe used to
Careful,
be a
Mark,
lot
they
cooler.
might call you socialist.
They call it socialist.
With that comment about the cloud, you despising the cloud model.
Yeah, we're on many specialists already. Okay. But yes, Figma CEO laments $20 billion deal with Adobe. Yeah, I feel really sorry for you, bro.
Yeah, really feel sorry.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait for your payday.
Aw. Let's see. Again, we're at the tail end of earnings. What do we got? We got sweatshop extraordinaire Nike coming up in play today. Let's look at NKE. I've been on a Nike boycott myself since about, I think, mid 2000s. Yeah, it's bullish-ish. Haven't traded this a while. Sorry, what's that, Kurt?
No, I'm been Nike boycott as well.
Oh, yay! High five. And they also got really DEI intense, which I didn't like. But yes, they're trading above the 200-day and 500-day moving average. It is a very nice slope overall since last earnings. That's like a 1.5 slope-ish. Yeah. Okay. So that's earnings for today. And then I want to talk about FedEx, which came out with numbers. They missed bottom line and top line on earnings. And their prices have gone up due to a lot of factors. Fuel surcharges, labor has increased. No thanks to UPS, just throwing money at its drivers. What the average UPS driver will make 180K. Forget grad school, work at UPS. And what are the other problems? Year-over-year growth has, or annual revenue has decreased since last year. So times are getting tougher. So naturally, this also puts additional pressure on UPS. Let's check out what can Brown do for us. Here's UPS, and let's double check with FedEx. Yeah, big gap down. Okay, so harsh times are coming. That's a gap down of what, 30 handles, 40 handles. Oh, holy cow. Was not in this trade, but holy cow. Did anyone try to play this? What size move was that? Flav, did you place? Oh, Rob's here. Welcome. Yeah. Okay. All right, so that's FedEx. Not a good harbinger of what to come. So not great. Let's look at more positivity. Let's look at General Mills sharing more optimism. So let's see. Earnings was also not great, blah, blah, blah. Here's the quote. We saw a slower than expected volume recovery in the second quarter amid a continued challenging consumer landscape. We generated bottom line growth thanks primarily to cost savings. So what this really means is shrinkflation. The box is a little bit smaller and the plastic baggie inside the cereal box is tiny and the amount of nitrogen gas pumped in there is increasing. So not fun for cereal eaters across the world. Okay, so that's a lot of optimism from cereal and from FedEx. All right, let's look at swaggy stocks and look at what the Robinhood kids are trading on the toilets. Okay, glad you weren't hurt with FedEx. That seemed kind of painful. All right. Let's see what's shaping up for today. Oh wow. We got well, this is the inverse VIX product, right? UVW, UVXW. Wait, pro short. Is this the inverse? Don't recall. Wait. Is this wait. I'm not sure what this is. I don't trade this. Does anyone trade this? UV. It's the Ultra VIX short-term future. So this is the 2x of the futures. Okay. Wow. Okay. So why are the kids trading this like crazy? What's our swaggy stocks? Where did that go? Okay. Okay, so that's the number one talked about item.
Because
Sorry, go-
GameStop is played out.
Okay, I think this is something else. This is an error. It looks like the data's broken because what's it? Was that 7 hits total? So the 12-hour read is incorrect. So I think it's misfiring because that makes no sense. Okay. Okay, so it must be an error in the back end somewhere. Yeah, their samples, yeah, the sample size numbers are all wrong. Okay. Reddit probably had an API problem and the API calls are not going through. And Reddit's been charging third parties for API licenses, and it's been complicated. So yeah, something's wrong here.
How long's that been going on?
That's been a 2023 initiative just to monetize things.
Of
And
course.
yeah, they've run through all the shareholders' equity. So let's see.
It was
Okay.
midsummer.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of admins on Discord that were
Yeah.
angry about it.
Yeah.
But then
So
they gave them like a clause.
okay, well, Swaggy Stocks is broken. We'll ignore this. Okay. Thanks a lot for nothing. We'll skip that. And then we'll get to our news topics. And if you guys like Idiocracy, this is the news anchor from Idiocracy talking about Notcher's BS case. So if you're a Matt Judge fan, you'll enjoy this. If not, you'll think this is weird. Okay. All right. Getting to our news cycle. Shout out to our homie Ronald Reagan. Trickle down economics is going to work. Trust me. And if you wonder, is this a partisan show? I guess we just hate the uniparty in all its facets. So yes, we hate everyone equally. Okay, let's see. From Flav, Tesla main drivers for failures of parts were logged effective. I got tons of Tesla articles. Let's save this for the Tesla theme of our show. It'll be really fun. I got like 4 articles, so that'll be number 5. Okay, this is gonna be cool.
And you're going to put a Tesla roof on your house, right?
Yes. We should send this clip to my friend. I'll try to remember that. Okay. Let me make a note. Where are we in the show? 1107. Okay, 1107 Tesla bit. All right, that's coming up. All right, cool. But yeah, let's talk about tech stocks. And we talked a bit about NASDAQ and whatnot. So let's load this article. Where's the, yeah, here we go. All right, cool. Fearless Fangs and small cap extremes. Oh, let me upload our notes again so Rob can follow along. Give it a 1 second. It's a big file. Okay, cool. All right, so here's the FANG stocks doing very well, overlaid against the, oh, this is RSI. Don't need that. Small caps doing well. We already talked about that. No surprises. We just looked at TNA, Upside Mania. So yes, and then here's our mega cap market cap stocks, the Mag 7. And as a percentage, this is increasing quickly. That's about 1/5 of the market. That's pretty big. And then we talked a bit about VIX. And then this was something I haven't seen before. There's the American Association of Individual Investors bull versus bear ratio overlaid with the SPX. That's quite the mouthful. So let's try to break that down. What is this indicator? Wait, this goes back to here. Here is, oh, this is something else. Wait, this is the percentage of bull versus bear spread. Oh, is this just a ratio of bulls to bears? Am I overthinking this?
Yeah, the white chart is I think the best of the depictions. It's a
Okay, okay.
ratio.
Oh, then that's that. Okay, okay. Then I'm overthinking. Okay, so bull to bear spread. Okay, by percentage. Okay. Here's historical. Does this make sense? So COVID, yes. Okay, COVID collapse was here, February 2020. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, so very bullish, like flaming bullishness, matching 2021 spring. Okay, got it. Okay, so this makes more sense now. And then we talked about the fear and greed index already, and this is a nice overlay with the SPX. Okay, so we're seeing lots of convergence or confirmation of our initial hypothesis. All right, cool. Meanwhile, as we mentioned earlier, all-time highs are being set with the Dow and the NASDAQ 100. And I don't have to dive too deeply into that. Let's see if there's any helpful charts that might be cool to look at. Eye-popping 53% up for the NASDAQ 100. And if you're wondering, what exactly is in the NASDAQ 100? I am with you. And let's see if we can find that in the public watch list. I think it's here. NASDAQ 100. Okay. No, we have the NASDAQ. NASDAQ comp? Is that it? No. Okay. I thought it had a better breakdown, but no. Okay. Never mind. I thought it would be here. Okay, no worries. That's okay. We'll skip to the next article. Get the gist of that.
The ticker actually is NDX.
NDX? Okay, let's go back to the NDX. In momentum land, this isn't quite as negative as it seems. It's 240 to 200. So the y-axis is skewed in a weird way. So this doesn't really indicate bearishness. So it could be petering out though. And that would make sense. Let's look at the analytics and see if we see matching information. Could be, yeah. Could be. We're at least at parity already, or beyond parity between calls and puts. Okay. Let's go to our article. It's been a surprising good year for global financial assets. Let's see. Few markets are down in 2023. Only China, but that's the big one. And we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Shanghai Exchange. And again, the waterline, the watermark is the 3,000 level. So we'll take a look at that in just a bit. So kind of a dumb article, but I like to see what optimism looks like in a upcoming rip your face off collapse. All right, lots of crypto news. So let's dig into it. Wish our chief crypto correspondent was here, but Lord Tedders is called away to other things. So yes, meanwhile, Ripple, Coinbase, and A16Z invest 78 million in pro crypto pack. That's not suspicious whatsoever. And let me think. I got friends that work at all three except Coinbase. And they're all Chinese. Interesting. Let's see. Yes, this is exactly what we wanted. Lobbyists and crypto. That's a marriage made in hell. Nothing foreboding will come out of this, of course. And let's go to our next item. So we got the upcoming potential Bitcoin ETF. This is the second attempt. I forget when the last one was, a couple years ago. But this is officially the second time. And as much
Yeah, but
hoopla.
the first time this happened, it was small fish, right? Comparatively, the
Yes.
Grayscale was trying to do this. This time around, it is the insiders, the owner class.
Yeah, and I'm really suspicious about this. I'm getting like a mixed bag of good and bad things. So yeah, let's talk about Elizabeth Warren. This is potentially a dagger to the whole balloon-esque movement at the moment. So Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, affectionately called by President number 45, she has miraculously pushed out a very interesting anti-crypto bill. And you might ask, since when does this person have any crypto knowledge? You are correct. She didn't write this, obviously, and she's serving her different masters. And just to pause for a second, Elizabeth Warren is a total asshole. She faked her ethnicity to get into the bar to Harvard, and she plagiarized. Speaking of Harvard folks who like to plagiarize things, she plagiarized a children's book, a cookbook. It was a Native American Cherokee recipe, and she ripped off a French cookbook word for word. Like, this is the kind of mofo you're dealing with. So, is she a crypto expert? Like, I don't think so. So, yes, back to the real world. Sorry. Yes, very suspicious. And let's see, she has different bank secrecy actings, know your customer things. It's just really suspicious. So we'll have to keep our eyes on this. And what does the deep state really want? What does the central bank really want? I mean, due to the welfare entitlements, if we go to the debt clock, the dollar has to crash at some level to pay off all of these promises. And that's why central bank digital currencies will be the perfect way to manage that. It will be easier to inflate the dollar once it goes digital. So, oh yeah, U.S. total debt or unfunded liabilities. Where's that section? Yeah, unfunded debt and interest. What is this? Debt per citizen, $75,000 on just debt, let alone Social Security and Medicare. There's so many things happening here. I can't even see what I'm looking at. Oh, here we go. Social Security and Medicare liability. That's $631,000 per citizen. You can't even print enough dollars to cover that per head. So scary stuff. Okay, so we'll keep our eye on this and let's see if the ETF really does pop. Cool. And then what does this mean for us? Potentially, this is going to unlock a huge amount of funds, about somewhere in the amount of $30 trillion. Where did they get this number? I don't know, but we could call that the total addressable market. You know, those lovely shiny projections that the marketing department that delivers, right? Supposedly from research, or heaven forbid, you paid a management consultant a lot of money to give you this number. So yeah, yeah, there will be a lot of institutional money that'll flow here. So we'll keep our eye on this. So yeah, okay. Next, no surprises here, but mergers and acquisitions are difficult when you're in a recession. So confirming our hypothesis, it hasn't been a great time for deal makers. And for all of our venture capitalist folks or friends, yeah, could be some tricky times. Oh, I forgot to mention, I have a ByteDance TikTok update when we get to our China news section. Let me just write that down before I forget. Da, 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 okay, cool. Oops, where's our news? Okay. Come on, come on. Oh my God, we're kind of behind. I gotta fly. Okay, we got 40 minutes. Oh God. Okay, I'm going a little too slow. Okay, we're on the crypto side. All right, mergers and acquisitions, talk about that. World's fastest growing economies. This should be fun. And as good traders, we want to be cognizant of where the billion population growth spurts will happen. So let's take a look at this. Fastest growing economies. Let me make this a little bit bigger. All right, we got Armenia, Libya, RIP Gaddafi here, Guyana, Mozambique, Maldives, Macau. Macau, 74%. Well, that seems like a broken number, and it is because remember they shut down all of the gambling like overnight? Yeah, hard. It's easy to make big numbers when you start from zero. So we can throw this out the window. Samoa and Fiji. Okay. So it's not globally 3%. If you take out Macau, like that skews this quite a bit. I'm not sure what's happening in Guyana, but I want to be surprised of shenanigans. Okay. The main factor behind this is oil production, except Macau. And okay, this is bullshit, and I'll show you why. The number one stock ticker for Macau is Stanley Ho's company. What's it called? Melco? His gaming, his casinos, yeah. So yeah, this has not done well. So as you can see, this is the largest employer in Macau. Macau functions as like a nation state or like a city state, like in the Italian style. And yeah, it hasn't been like, why am I not shorting this? Like I'm shorting Chinese tech stocks. Why did I forget Macau gambling? The cobbler's son has no shoes. Okay.
So they canceled gambling?
Yeah. So this is part of the Ant. This is concurrent with the Ant shutdown, if you recall that, the big IPO. So there was a huge crackdown by Beijing because Macau is under the jurisdiction of the Shanghai clique, and Beijing does not really have control of the Pearl River Delta region. So we're talking Hong Kong, Macau, and then Shenzhen. So that area is not dominated by Beijing. So if you're trying to ship money abroad and you're running away from Beijing, then you need friends in Hong Kong and Macau and Singapore to facilitate the transfers. And they've shut this down for multiple reasons: COVID, corruption. It's pretty draconian, and yeah, it's tough there. So complicated. Cool. So that's that. So we've punched holes here. So yeah. Okay. Next article. We gotta fly through here. A little bit behind. All right. Next section. I'll use and collect the toy paper. Does anyone recognize where this is from? This little meme. I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today.
Isn't that
Yeah.
Popeye the Sailor Man? Or something?
Correct. All right. So yes, I had some fun with this, but yeah, that's how I view IOUs. Take it first, pay for it later. All right. So yes, how's this shaping up in the global bond markets? It's complicated. We've had quite the mixed bag this week, especially the Bank of Japan. Just like someone talked some sense into the Bank of Japan and told them to resume course and stop this foolhardy policy shift. But yeah, let's get into what Asia's doing. Actually, I think I
But
saved the wrong
so
article.
just a comment there. With what Japan did recently,
Mhm.
that's the reason why dollar fell. So if they stop doing that, dollar, is going to reverse, and you'll see the effect on the stocks.
I didn't connect the dots with that. That is a very true statement. Okay, yeah. So in case you didn't know, Bank of Japan wanted to raise interest rates and then change tones abruptly within days of that, and now it will continue negative interest rates. So someone had a very harsh speaking to for whatever the Bank of Japan or the board or the governor. So yeah, that happened. Okay. Let's fly through our next articles. Let's get to domestic news. Tucker Carlson. I kind of like Vivek for VP. So let me break it down. Like again, I view both of these mofos as like rhinos. So let me decipher Tucker Carlson for you. Him and his stupid bow tie. Like I shouldn't cap on him, but I feel like we should at least know like these folks' true character. So Tucker Carlson, Hunter Biden letter. So, Tucker Carlson contacted Hunter Biden before to write a letter of recommendation for his son to get into Georgetown, and he did write it. And then Tucker said thank you and asked him out to dinner. That happened. So I don't have time to get into it, but that happened. Is that dirty? Absolutely. Is it talked about? Not really, but we should know. Okay, Vivek, this mofo. He is also very dirty. Vivek fraud. Find this mofo. Where's the video?
Vivek is kind of creepy. His businesses aren't anywhere near as good as he says.
Oh, they're total frauds. And his whole family. Yeah. They have there's some medical expertise in the family that was used for evil. So let me drop this in the chat. Long story short, he's a pharma shill. His millions are fake. They're floated by the private equity folks that sustained his impossible valuations. It's not magic. Very dirty guy. So yeah, they all should be shot for being rhinos.
More negative than I am, but I think we agree.
Yeah. So
his business was kind of creepy.
It is.
He never really made giant money.
Yeah.
Except for, in his own stock pocket.
Yeah. So complicated guy. So again, we are for the people, and we dislike the Uniparty. Okay, moving on. Local news. We have that biolab that miraculously got very little press. What was this, in Fresno or Bakersfield? And there was a fridge marked Ebola. So not a lot has come out of this. So we'll have to keep our eyes on this. Very interesting. What else? Some kind of fun news. Where are all the millionaires? And unfortunately, they're in New York City, mainly. And number 2 would be Tokyo. Number 3, Bay Area. Hey. Number 4, London. Number 5, Singapore. 6, LA. Then Hong Kong, Beijing, Shanghai, Sydney, Chicago, Toronto, Frankfurt, Zurich, Houston, Seoul, Korea, Melbourne, Paris, Geneva, and Dubai. Why is Paris number 18? I thought it would be higher. Okay.
Kind of crazy that Dubai is so low. They talk so big.
Well, freaking Dubai's biggest building doesn't even have indoor plumbing. They have like
I know.
poop trucks.
I've seen those expose videos.
Have no Dubai poop trucks. If you don't know what this is a metaphor for their unofficial prostitution racket. If you ever see really hot social influencers mysteriously in Dubai, it is for very interesting extracurricular activities that involve children, camels, and a lot of poop. It's not me doing this, it's them. So yeah. But yes, the world's tallest building doesn't have plumbing for poop. So they have to resort to poop trucks. And there's been traffic jams for all of the poop trucks. It's insane. Like Dubai is a fool's idea of paradise. So yeah, anyway, we don't have time for this, but there are poop trucks. All right, cool. Next article. What are Americans shopping for? Not much, because they're using their credit cards. So yes, most of the purchases are online. And keep this in mind, like with FedEx's weekend earnings in mind. But yes, it's been online, department stores, discount stores, grocery stores, clothing stores, small businesses, electronics, and the humble craft store. So yeah. All right, we got to fly. Let's keep going. We hinted about this earlier. So we looked at Affirm and our buy now, pay later stocks as killing it and during our sector rotation components. And surprise now, Walmart can offer that now at the kiosk. And wait till McDonald's offer this, right? But yes, I'm not sure what's scarier, this or the palm scanner at Whole Foods. They're both kind of scary. So that's coming down the pipeline. So be careful. And again, self-checkout lanes have been used for stealing a lot of product. You scan 4 items and don't pay for the 5th one. So it's a very common tactic. All right. And now this next couple of articles kind of forms a theme. And you can guess who the demographic is. But let's start with this first. 40% of student loan borrowers missed their first payment after pandemic era freeze expired. No surprises there. And we've seen a correlation with the search term for give car back and repo rates and all kinds of shenanigans. So yes, the American consumer might be tapped out based on this and other interesting data. And this is the $1.6 trillion figure for remaining school loan is disproportionately held by women and also non-STEM degrees. So yeah, they made some bad choices.
No,
And
there's some of that. Then there's a bunch of doctors, people who got medical degrees who are like, I don't know.
Yeah, but they're legitimate. The problem is the girls who wanted to be social directors and get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. And then my favorite is the lesbian dance profession, but that's pretty.
underwater basket weaving, right?
What's that?
Underwater basket weaving.
Yeah, well, that's the one without politics involved.
There we go. Okay, so let's be really racist for a second and think about, who do you want your doctor to be? Speaking of school loan debt, wait, I'm trying to understand this table. This is kind of complicated. So the best scores, okay, so they're discounting top scores for Asians and whites at a decreasing rate. So yeah, if you're black, okay, we're reading this wrong. You have to read the lowest scores and who gets hired. Okay, here we go. Okay, so of the dumbest MCAT students, who gets accepted? Very few of the Asians, very few of the whites, a third of the Hispanics, and almost 60% of the blacks. This number is as high as the abortion rate for black fetuses. Oh, we can't talk about that? Okay, we won't. Okay. But yeah, scary thing. So try to pick the ugliest, nerdiest male Asian doctor you can find, because that boy knows his stuff. All right. Now that we've offended everybody.
I can tell that from experience.
Yes. I have friends. I know these people. Anyway.
They're mainlanders too.
Yeah. All right. What did Linda say? Parisian millionaires exist, but they officially live in Switzerland to avoid high French taxes. They actually spend all their unofficial time in Paris. Ah, yes. And they also like to live in Belgium, I heard.
Yes.
Good times.
And also Monaco and things like that. Yeah.
Ah, the smart guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So continuing with our previous item of school loan degenerates, here is pornographication of AI girlfriends. Paul Joseph Watson did a fun video about this. Yeah, here it is. But yeah, it's quite the booming industry. This is going to complicate things, and I try to get the chart, but I'll just summarize really quick. For young women, age 18 to 23, during COVID, despite lockdowns, the number of women, young women losing their virginity was a constant. COVID and lockdowns did not change it. But for young men, it increased male virginity rates. So of the 18 to 23 age group, 1/3 of all males have not had sex as an adult, which is like the highest historically.
It's crazy.
So if the young women are co-populating and it's not with the young men, then who's it with? the older men.
Old men like me.
Right. And there's and often there's cash involved. So yeah. So complicated subjects. And then therefore, obviously, we have to talk about our strip club IPO, Rick's Cabaret, and see how they're doing. Let's see. They're up for today, pacing S&P. Yeah, not doing great, bouncing off the bottom here, but yeah, that's Rick's Cabaret. Okay. And
But the other side of the trade is also games, right? The guys
yes, esports. So
esports.
so I guess the Ross recommendation is to go long strip clubs and Activision, right?
So can I use Upstart to buy a membership in Rick's strip club and
There
pay
you
for it
go.
later?
That's only if your credit card is at its limit. Then you use the buy now, pay later option.
Yeah, so if you look at all the dating apps like Bumble, and what's the other one? That
Tinder,
Tinder,
yeah. So here's Bumble stock losing like a dog.
Match.com.
Yeah, Match is the other big one, the conglomerate. Yeah,
Yeah.
Match is also not doing well. And yeah.
But at the same time, these guys are raising the
Rates
monthly
like crazy.
rates. Yeah.
But I mean, you're skipping ahead. Like I had an article on that. Let me see. Where's the article? Oh, right here. Sorry, dating apps. Okay. I had an article. Okay, perfect. All right. Thanks for the perfect segue, Ross. All right. So, here is. Oh, let me drop this in chat. Okay, perfect. Let's take a look at this. So here's the dating app market, and if you can see, the steam is around school loan degenerates, AI girlfriends, and dating. So this is quite the debacle for the 18 to 35-year-old segment. And let's see. I'm the youngest here, right? Let me think. Let me look at the watch list. I mean, the participant list. Yeah, I'm the youngest guy here. Okay, so I've probably used all of this, except I haven't used this. This has an astronomical barrier to entry. Like, forget that. $1,000 a week. Yeah, I don't think so. I got to sell volatility.
But then I think you're not the intended demographic there.
I am not the intended demographic. Yes, Warren does not need a dating app, but yes, we're looking at dating app stocks. Let's see who's paying for it. So most folks, not the young folks. The I guess second and third divorce category of consumer expediting their dating prospects with cash. No surprises there. Tinder has an expensive version now. And yeah. Okay, yeah, this is crazy. So yeah, the deregulated sexual marketplace is going to end Western civilization. So here is the front lines. And if you'd like to milk the decline, you can short Match, or if you like the safer play, Bumble is a very nice and known loser. And
lower lows,
lower highs, yeah. But people are buying the dip, and God bless them. We always need people to hold up their end of the bag. So I hope more people buy this dip, and then we just come in and eat their lunch. All right. So we're talking about our mythical Karen, who's 30 years old, owing school loan money, is losing boys to AI models, is smoking, drinking box wine, and is enjoying shrinking brain size. So yes, antidepressants also shrink brain size, but yeah, this is just.
Is box wine bad for health?
Pardon me?
Is box wine bad for health?
Well, it's a very technical question. Resveratrol is the active ingredient that has whatchamacallit, life extending properties. What is the let me I forgot what the exact reason was.
So you're saying resveratrol is not present in box wine?
Oh no, it is present. It's present in wine products in a big way. You can buy it isolated as a compound.
Right.
I've tried it for a quarter. I didn't really notice a difference. But supposedly box wine has benefits, but it depends who you talk to. If we're looking at the Okinawa study, which has, the Okinawans are the longest group of centurions on the planet, the way they consume alcohol is either high or zero. There's like very few people in the middle. So that's the best practice from that population. And in studying this as well, the challenge of alcohol is that it ruins your gut biome because the healthy synergistic bacteria get wiped out. And if you're always drinking, then you have other problems because you can't absorb vitamin A and thiamine and stuff. So if you had to pick one, maybe abstinence from alcohol makes the most sense, all things considered.
It's a significant harm to your brain and your heart.
Yeah, alcohol is a
Neurotoxin.
neurotoxin. Yeah, it's a neurotoxin.
And chews up heart muscle.
Correct. But there's definitely a use case for alcohol, or at least lightly alcohol beverages, and that's in the case of water emergencies. Like if we're stuck in medieval Europe and we don't have purified water and whatnot, then drink, watered down beer, and you won't die of dysentery or typhoid. Or if there's poop in your water, we have other problems. But yeah.
Yeah, I think there's better ways to do that.
Yeah. We'll skip this. We've kind of covered this. Okay, we got 20 minutes. We haven't got to Chinese news yet. Oh my God. Just FYI, retailers are handing your patient records to law enforcement without warrants. Just FYI. So if you want people to know about your, antidepressants to the blue pills for the missus, it's too late.
So what's the reason for this? Why are they doing this?
Because retailers bend over to police. It's just like
sounds like a HIPAA problem. I would seriously consider just suing them because it sucks.
Yeah.
Technically, it's not a violation of HIPAA, I think, because there's some loophole that allows that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Loophole by design, you mean?
Yes, always by design. And no surprises here. Depreciating cars are mostly, led by BMWs. Okay.
Oh, could you post the link for this?
Is there a number of months or something for that decline?
The depreciation curve is the closer you are to purchase, right? The purchase date, like you drive it off the lot, that's 30% off, right?
Yeah, so I saw lots of 55%, let's say. Is that over 2 years?
Oh, 5 years. 5-year time duration.
Okay, 5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Maserati has a car called the Ghibli. That's pretty interesting.
Ghibli. Where? Ghibli.
Second
to back up.
Oh, Ghibli. Oh, what the hell?
As in Studio Ghibli.
Yeah. I am confused. Okay.
I know about that. I don't know why.
Okay. Okay. Looks like the Pontiac Judge, the GTO.
Yeah, but that's like the 60s.
Yeah. All right, we gotta speed up, guys. We gotta get the China news. All right, we're just only at real estate. Okay. I thought this was a funny meme. World right now, realtors. Anyone want to buy a house?
Yeah, they're saying, hey, when the rates go down, it's going to be a chaos out there. So buy now and refinance.
You can always refinance later. Never mind what everyone else says, or your assessor, or your loan officer. Damn those guys. All right. Speaking of crazy rates, local news. San Francisco market has not yet bottomed. It is quite the disaster. Vacancy rate at 35.9%, 2% points higher than last quarter. That has added another 1.4 million square feet of occupancy loss, which is equal to a giant dildo in San Francisco. That's the entire Salesforce tower. Crazy stuff. And despite the flood of office space, asking rents have fallen too slowly to attract demand. So not quite time yet to call it a bottom. So yes, this is quite the disaster. And it's also regional. So certain areas are more hard hit than others, obviously. And yeah, more space to fall. Okay, let's speed up a little bit. US home sales unexpectedly limp higher in November, but still off record lows. Let's fast forward. Let's get to engineering news. Lots of Tesla articles. So here's Malcolm in the Middle to Walter White. STEM is not easy. What can we say? All right. We love our EV products. And speaking of which, Nicola, what's the stock?
NKLA.
Okay, oh yeah. 0.83, 83 cents, guys.
Oh my God.
83 cents. This opened at $10, peaked at 90. Oh my God. Is there still a market? Yeah. People are now day trading this. All right. Game over. Penny stock territory. Okay.
Tesla should buy Nikola so they can have the Nikola Tesla brand name.
And then race on downhill curves together.
Yeah.
Cybertruck.
With the Cybertruck.
Yeah. And if you notice, Elizabeth Warren also loves her Cherokee heritage as well. And yeah, just bizarre moment in time for these folks. Like when you're talking about your mom's boobs in court, you know, about your bankruptcy, we have problems. So yes, we're gonna leave that out and move on to the next article. Yeah, like when all else fails, start blaming white people. This is what this guy did. Oh my God. Watch, I'm gonna use that in court one day and talk about my white guilt. All right. Meanwhile, let's talk about SpaceX. Lots of Elon news. All right. So people are trying to look at bidding at competing products. No surprises here. We don't quite have time to go look at all the competing products, but we know that's happening. And if you would like to know more about SpaceX pre-IPO stock, you need to contact our boy Jonathan Wong or Don Lee. Cool. Tesla EV plug has won the plug wars. And now everyone else has to pay homage to them. So that's a slight win for Tesla. And we gotta fast forward a little bit. Let's stick with Tesla failure or Tesla wannabe and failures. Like we've talked a bit, especially last month, about EV failures. And this is not only extremely popular for failing in China, but in the non-state-owned enterprise, sorry, state-owned business territory, a lot of folks have been losing their shirt. So we do have a couple watch lists for this. But yeah, of the 43 EV and battery companies that went public between 2020 and 2022, 5 have either filed for bankruptcy or been acquired. The failure rate in China it's out of the thousands of companies, it's like 99% ran out of money. So that's the other side of the ocean. Let's speed up a little bit. Elon Musk is going to offer an amphibious package for the Cybertruck. So is this insane? You bet. Yeah. It can traverse at least 100 meters of water as a boat. Mostly just need to upgrade cabin door seals. So on the plus side, you don't have to call the fire department if your Cybertruck is on fire. You just drive it into the ocean. Okay. Now let's talk about the labor market. And if you get this meme, I'll be really impressed. So this is from Goodfellas. So his date asks, "So what do you do?" Oh, he says, "I'm in construction." And she says, "Oh, these hands don't feel like construction hands." And then he says, "Oh, I'm a union delegate." So I'm trying to educate folks that labor unions and mafioso have a very shared history, especially the Teamsters. Oh, what did Ross post? Let's see. Defense spending is projected to fall below its historical share of GDP. Yes. But we're also printing so much money that maybe from a real, not a nominal point of view, but from a real expenditure point of view, maybe this isn't quite as skewed as it's meant to be. What else did Ross share with us? DeLorean EV. Oh my God. This is cool. Oh my God. Would they include a Return of the Future reboot? That would be badass. This is cool. Okay. And they have
Can the
doors.
car fly with its gull wing doors flapping?
If you have the right flux capacitor, sure. That's pretty cool. All right, we got 11 minutes. Surprise, surprise, high immigration is linked to worsening inflation. And we don't talk about this enough. High amounts of illegal immigration supports real estate in the bottom sectors, which bids up the entire value chain overall, which is one reason why the southern border cannot be sealed. It's partially for real estate reasons. We don't have time to take that apart, but take that as you will. Getting out to international news. This is like my favorite international foreign affairs moment. But yeah, Rocket Boy and the Orange Man, like epic stuff. Okay, but anyway, Mexican Presidente is talking shit about the new migrant law in Texas, and yeah, like F you, buddy. This is out of your jurisdiction. Go pound sand. Meanwhile, international tourism is now approaching pre-pandemic levels. And we've talked about this before with the US market, with Thanksgiving as in peak passenger travels, and also this Christmas season coming up to be also another all-time peak. And let's look at if anything's changed in the travel marketplace. So here's Jets, which is the basket of US domestic airliners. And we're now kind of bumping up against the 200-day moving average and not really getting out of that. So lots of dojis here, not really moving anywhere. So let's look at some players here. We've got Delta, that's pacing it really closely. Let's look at Southwest, which is punishing us healthy people by giving free seats to fat people. What the hell is this?
What?
You didn't know about this?
No.
Yeah. So Southwest
Free
is now
seats to fat
yes.
people?
Yes. Southwest fat. Yes, the key search term of the day. Should fat people get an extra airline seat for free? Southwest Airlines think they should. I mean, this is an editorial piece, but this is real. So they're rewarding solo fat people.
Solo travel. You mean they get an extra seat for free?
Yes.
But do they say who's fat, who's not fat? What's the limit?
You get to pre-board and get a free extra seat at no cost, even on fully booked flights. So this is going to create absolute chaos. Absolute chaos this Christmas season. Good luck.
Pre-board.
Yeah.
Won't the person getting the free seat be offended by calling them fat?
Apparently they're not. They want the free seat.
Can you assume like you assume fat levels? So yeah. This will be
like how many pounds you have to weigh before you get your extra seat.
Your butt needs to exceed the width. You know how they have like the your suitcase luggage can only be this big? They're gonna have like the inverse with the seat at the front gate. Like, if you cannot fit this, we'll just give you a free seat.
What about skinny people? Then shouldn't they get half off?
I don't know, but Southwest. I mean, they were the people's airline for a long time because they don't do the pick your seat thing, right? They were rewarding meritocracy, and now this is clearly hostility to the able-bodied and non-fat people. It's hilarious. Okay, so yeah, we're running a little bit out of time. Red Sea shenanigans, just it's a shitstorm. There's this new operation. What's it called? Guardian expansion. Oh, Prosperity Guardian. Like, who's picking these project names? This is insane. But yeah, all kinds of shenanigans there. Let's go quickly. Zelensky's pissed. He definitely keeps saying we're not losing the war. Please stop asking. And Zelensky was ironically in Argentina for the inauguration of whatchamacallit, can't say his name, Javier Milei?
Milay.
Milei,
Melee.
yeah. Very suspicious. I did some additional deep digging into Javier, and the bad things I found out I can't talk about on this video, but not a good guy. Let's just leave it at that. And Argentina is not going to have a libertarian renaissance. It'll look like it, but it's anything but that. So not a good thing. Here's a recap of the current war zones we got going on. They're wonderful. We'll skip the other Red Sea stuff. Don't really have a time for that. I thought it was a good PR piece on the operation, which is kind of interesting. So let's see. Okay, it doesn't say anything interesting, but yeah, but it's real. Yeah, we're having problems. Okay, Zelensky needs to mobilize a lot of new bodies. He can't. Now we're seeing confirmation that they're just doing conscription, willy-nilly off the streets. Like vans roll up and they grab young men, and then they're in the front lines. It's kind of crazy. So, what was the Ukraine population again before all this happened and COVID? Let's see, 30 million,
Like
36
100,
million.
I think.
It was
Yeah.
54 million or something.
36 in 2023.
Yeah.
44 million in 2022. So it's about the size of California. So let's recap. 20 million civilians already fled, mostly women and children. All the men were conscripted. How many, like 400,000 dead at least? At least? Those are killed in action.
Well over at this point.
Yeah, but that's the official, that's at least one tally. And then how many are wounded, how many defected, how many just, are AWOL. We've seen the collapse of an entire country, and that's again a California-sized population migration on foot.
And it was all avoidable. I mean,
Yes.
this whole thing is just such a disaster. It
Yeah,
was all
Minsk,
political bullshit.
yeah, Minsk agreement, and this is existential for for Russia. Like you're not gonna set up a NATO base on their front porch, like not happening. I mean, we did the same for Cuba. I mean, yeah, this is crazy. Okay, anyway, but it's good for missile defense, I guess. Again, we talked about Angola. No one really cares because they're 0.1% of global demand from a supply point of view, and they've been playing weird games with their production quota for a long time anyway. So F these guys. And then, oh yeah, this is my favorite oil meme. David Chappelle's Black Bush stuff. Like if you see this political sketches of Black Bush, it's hilarious. I love that. And then if you like Deadwood, and this is Calamity Jane and Wild Bill Hitchcock, if you like poker or guns, this is the meme I chose for precious metals, and we're running out of time. Oh, I gotta speed up. So no surprises here, but orange juice, cocoa, and coffee are really expensive and in high shortage because of substantial climate cycle changes. So interesting things to note here. No doubt you've seen price spikes like crazy for breakfast. And we talked about this a bit ago, but I didn't know that the gold selling at Costco was so successful. $100 million worth of gold. So I might reactive. I don't have an active Costco membership, but I might get one just to do this for fun. But yeah, fun stuff. So $100 million worth. That's a lot of product. How many ounces is that? Let's do the math. 100 million. That's 100,000. That's 1 million, 10 million, 100 million. It's divided by $2,000. So they sold 50,000 ounces of gold from Costco.
That's
Costco.
a lot.
How many pounds is that? Wait, that's ounces. How many ounces per 16, right?
16 ounces, yeah.
That's 3,000 pounds of gold. So a ton and a half.
Is that because they get it for cheaper at Costco?
Was this a loss leader? Is this the same as the hot dog? I don't know. Depends on, let me think. Pamp Suisse. This is not a cheap refiner either. Do they make money on this?
I would think you would have to buy at least 100-ounce bar or something to be in line with all of Costco's other products where you buy gigantic portions.
Yeah, it's just kind of cool to see. But yeah, with Costco's volume discounts, I'm sure they had a good deal. It's probably not a slam dunk, but probably a good, single or double level profit. But yeah, this is kind of cool. I'm curious of how they interpret this. Like, I'm sure they didn't expect this in the boardroom. They're like, wow, shit, we should sell gold. Forget toilet paper.
Well, they may have been holding a position of some sort, like a futures position.
I wouldn't be surprised. That would be kind of cool. I mean, they do have entire treasury departments to allocate idle cash. So
Yeah, companies that size have
absolutely.
money.
And I hope they, deleverage their interest rate risk, like with the small banks. And like FDIC doesn't cover corporate accounts, guys. Like, who forgot that? Okay, finally, China news. All right, we're gonna go a little bit overtime. So if anyone has to leave, all good. Um, in case I didn't offend enough people, I picked this meme. Okay. All right, let's talk about the Shanghai markets. Again, the key watermark level is 3,000, and they can't hold that, which is a disaster. So here's the last month. And you got to think, like, despite this downward plunge, you have to think how much the Chinese regulators have stacked the deck. Like, they've basically banned outright short selling. If you have large sell positions, you get investigated. You get very angry phone calls, and men in black show up. Like, it is a substantial shit show over there. It's anything but the free market. But then again, you're dealing with genocidal murderers. So is anyone surprised? And let's look at the USD to RMB. And again, there is a floor price to the exchange rate. They can never let this number go below the Hong Kong rate, because they don't want the Chinese RMB to be like worth less than the Hong Kong dollar, just out of pride. So we saw that figure on the conversion rate to be 7.12, and this is 7.81. So there's still a nice healthy gap. Okay. And then Xi Jinping just recently went to Vietnam, and there were some shenanigans there. In the welcoming party, one local was noted for giving a middle finger, and this has never happened before. So you kind of have to think, like, for Vietnam to even allow this and consider it somewhat okay, it's quite the slap in the face to China. And don't forget, Vietnam is gobbling a lot of the manufacturing business. Everyone's, is leveraging out of China into India, into Vietnam, into the rest of Southeast Asia, just for political safety. The alien espionage law, the alien espionage laws and crime baloney that Beijing is enforcing is bad for business. Who would have thought? When your customer doesn't trust you, they go elsewhere. Hello. So yeah, China's gonna learn this the hard way. And again, I feel like modern mainland Chinese people have forgotten how to be Chinese in general, let alone human beings. Like, I feel like they're all damaged goods. Like, the young, the old, everybody. Like, they're all idiots, and they have to learn. They need like a very hard reboot to relearn what it means to be like a normal human being, and it's coming. So yeah. China, of course, is the #1 exporter of Christmas tree lights and related accessories. No surprises there. Kind of a dumb article, but thought I'd include this here. What I do want to talk about really briefly is let's pull up the charts, of course. Chinese large caps finally gapping down, and yeah, it's quite the dog. So yes, we're seeing no end to economic lows in China, and that will continue. And our sector leader, of course, is Alibaba, and it's having a nice cup and handle fun time moment at the moment. But we'll take a look, and let's take a look at Pinduoduo really quickly as well. This is having a good time. Let's pull up the watch list really quick. Panda Tech. Yeah, so Pinduoduo is having a good time. Alibaba is not. Let's look at Baidu and Bilibili really quick. So here's Baidu, the Google clone. They're not having a good time. Here's Billy, also another video player. Did I spell this right? There we go. Billy ADR. This one's losing its shirt. There's also WeChat, which is Weibo, which is also not having a good time. So if you like a little bit more leverage, there's a little bit of CWeb, and there's KWeb if you want the unleveraged version. All right. Take care, Linda. Merry Christmas. We'll catch you in
Thanks.
next week.
You too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Happy holidays, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
I do want to talk about the tons of Chinese have crossed over the border. So supposedly it's 24,000 Chinese, and this is more from this year than the last 10 years combined. And it's interestingly that most of these folks are military-age men between like 20s and 30s. Not suspicious at all. Yes. And then there's some more intel that came out about the attempted robbery of a Taiwanese helicopter. And this isn't even a modern helicopter. This is like 1960s technology from the Vietnam War that they wanted to acquire. So it speaks a lot about China. Like, how are they going to build anything that works, from hypersonic missiles to aircraft carriers, if they're still chasing 1960s helicopter technology? Like, we're talking 5 and 7 nanometer chips for their cell phones, but they can't figure this out, or how to build passenger airlines. So, sorry, passenger airliners. Yeah.
I think those are really pretty good helicopters. They carry a lot. I mean, that's.
Oh yeah, for sure. But
if
they're
you
not
can buy that 10 cents on the dollar, then you're doing pretty good.
But these aren't Blackhawks. And sure, if you even if this bribe worked, like they can't replace the skilled labor. Like the flight crew, I looked this up, is 2 pilots and a flight engineer.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but I think you can fit like 50 people in there, at
oh,
least 30.
yeah. It's just like, but you need skilled labor to operate. So like
Yeah.
China's always like chasing the dragon, and is retarded when they do it. And then I was looking up some more research, and it's I don't know if it's true or not, but there's this one comment on a YouTube thread that was talking about this guy was deployed in the Pacific, and he knows the People's Liberation Navy's inventory quite well. So I thought that was kind of interesting to note here. And shout out to Larry for talking. We're chatting yesterday about China's nuclear plays, and the rest of the world is asleep at the switch. And ultimately, we will have to become more nuclear over time. So that's why we talk a bit about uranium. So what's the play?
But is this a uranium-based reactor, or is it thorium-based?
That specific one, I believe China has both. I think they're over-promising. But let's see. I don't see thorium mentioned here. So I think this is a traditional one.
Thorium is really cheap.
Right.
Effectively zero compared to uranium.
I don't think China has the technology to go with that modular concept just yet. And then meanwhile, if the COP28 agreement does go through, then that means by default, we definitely have to have more nuclear power. So incidentally, that means 22 countries have to triple their nuclear energy use by 2050, which will produce a third of all global electricity. So it's coming.
There's some analysis that says the U.S. can't build enough nukes, even if they didn't have regulation. I mean, it just isn't enough power for any of these plants.
Therefore, central digital currencies will be really handy to cut off electricity for people who are thinking wrong thoughts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've been calling certain people communists for quite a while now.
We'll have fun in the Utah horse stall, don't worry. When we all get sent there to die. But yeah, this is kind of hinting regulators they're doing anything to sustain that 3,000 level in the Shanghai index. So no surprises here. Yeah, Xi Jinping is seriously in trouble. And ByteDance. Let me go to my email. Find the relevant email real quick. Okay. So I got hit up by ByteDance to work at TikTok, and they offered me a lot of money. Let me show you guys what I was offered. Oh, it's in my inbox. Let me find the job description.
Did you apply for the job?
No, a recruiter found me and wanted to give me a lot of money, but then I said, fuck you, very politely. Very, very politely. Okay. So again, Warren's anti-communism thing, it's not just business, it's very personal. What did Ross say? What are small modular reactors? Oh yeah. Micronuclear is a new tech. Yes. Okay. So they wanted like a okay. So this is the job description. So let's just start what they were paying. Where's the number? Oh, I think it's on the website. It was like basically it's like 360K cash plus stocks and OTE bonuses. So it's about $500,000. And they basically wanted like a crazy talented like marketing director or higher level that not only knew marketing really well, but could do like impossible go-to-market rollouts. And you have to be like really sharp on your game to sell to businesses. And you're basically selling TikTok as a platform from an ad tech perspective to VPs of marketing. And you're targeting like the mid-tier market for the most part. And could I do the skill set? I think so, but my resume doesn't read as like tier one marketing superstar. And this recruiter, the reason they were paying so much was they were trying to recruit from their perspective. Their tier one targets were what was it? Google and Meta. And to me, that's not, because like those are not entrepreneurial folks, and those are how do I put it? Those are A students, and people who launch companies are C students. And I've been both. I've been the F student, the C student, and the straight A student. So I get it. But yeah, I thought just interesting. So here is the letter I sent back. Wait.
I'm gonna
Okay.
tell my friend.
So here's the thing. Email the recruiter. Upon heavy reflection, I must politely decline the ByteDance role. I hate TikTok politically and refuse to cash checks with Beijing blood money. I'm a fierce American patriot and I've disowned multiple members for their deep CCP connections. My uncle is a Macau magistrate, a heavy player. I don't say this to boast at all. I exited my family at age 24 and never looked back. It's not only business to me, it's extremely personal. And to me, business is the most personal thing you can possibly do. You ironically are talking to one of the most knowledgeable option traders around when it comes to shorting Chinese stocks and trading commodities. Do you by any chance have any do you by any chance have anything with 0% Chinese communism connections? I hope find a great candidate though. This sounds like an incredible opportunity. Blah 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 blah. And he politely says no. So this really happened. Like ah like I really wanted to like interview and do all the homework and whatnot, but it's just I like to sleep at night and not worry about things.
I can't believe you said that in a way that's recorded.
I don't give a shit. Like, come at me. I got 30 cows, dude. Let's have at it.
That's
mean,
the kind of thing that gets out there.
I like my entire
that's-
family
that's-
is on lists already. It doesn't matter. Like,
Okay.
we're already under surveillance. It's okay. To the NSA agent that's monitoring my file, he knows what's up. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, this is cool. Yeah. But yeah, but that's
So
today's show. So
you're talking about nuclear, right? So I think the technology that's going to come about is not big nuclear, but rather, micro nuclear plants for, city size.
oh yes,
right?
yes.
So
And
that is the way that they're going to create nuclear, which is, low grade nuclear fuel that cannot be weaponized, or things of that nature. So and of course that takes time to set up, but once it is set up, it can be literally copy pasted across the geography, and you will have little to no problems with power.
No, I definitely think that's coming. And then concurrently, I recall Putin has commissioned 4 nuclear icebreakers because he wants to deliver gas, and he wants to use the Arctic waterways as the way to transport it, since pipelines are dangerous.
Anything near US is dangerous.
Especially Navy SEAL exercises conducted with the UK Navy.
So the US regulators gave the Philippines the okay to have these little nuclear plants.
Oh, cool.
It was just in the
So,
last 2 weeks.
so therefore, CCJ for uranium processing. Did we forget to insult anybody else today? I think that's everybody. All right, well, cool, guys. Just to recap, we got Nike earnings at close today, and that's about it. Let's see how the market's been since we started today's show. Yeah, still fairly up. Let's go to our favorite dashboard here. Okay. Yeah, fairly green all across the board. Baidu looks like could be another candidate for a short position. Okay. Good stuff. I think everyone has the notes. Let me upload it one more time in case you don't have it. And I'll turn off the recording now. Okay. Now that I've doxed myself completely, or nearly, what's for lunch?
What did I do?
All right, let me stop the recording.